on Life Aquatic, I was doing what I'd done on a bunch of these other movies, whether it's Frida or whatever. There were things in the script that needed to be done in a way that there were these creative moments, in these cases, these fantastical creatures or things like that that appeared in Life Aquatic. And, you know, Wes, like Julie Taymor and like Darren, and, you know, he didn't want to have stuff look like, you know, what sort of CG slick effects. He wanted something that had texture and had life and was more interesting. So he had the idea of using stop motion animation, which I had never done anything with before, you know. But he wanted somebody to help figure out how all the stuff was going to work in the film. So I went over to Italy, and it was a big operation, that film. And it was a little bit, you know, they were out at sea, so it was hard to communicate. I remember this is like the pre-email on your phone days. So I was over in Italy trying to figure things out, and, you know, working. Mark Friedberg, the great production designer who was doing that film, who also now works with Darren. So, like, you know, the New York world.
This is Life Aquatic now.
Yeah, Mark Friedberg. I remember he said, hey, you know, because I was over there and not knowing what was going on. He's like, well, why don't you set up a desk in the art department? We've got space. So I was in the art department, and just trying to figure things out and talking with Mark, but a lot of things I had to do on my own. You know, like I had to kind of go and figure out, like, how are we doing this part of the thing? And there was nobody around to ask. And those guys were out on a boat at sea and didn't come back till 8 o'clock at night. And I was like driving an hour and a half down to like Sabaudia, which is like, you know, on the coast of Italy, to like meet them at RAP at the edit room, to like show Wes some drawings and get his notes and then drive back. I mean, it was just like, it was a really crazy operation. And I think to get the things done that I needed to get done, I had to do a lot of just like producing my own little units. At one point I was shooting giant miniatures with motion control rigs on one stage, and I had divers underwater in another stage in a tank that I was shooting, that I created a underwater drop by just putting like going to Cinecittà backdrop shop and putting things. So I was doing a lot of figuring out on my own. And then I would record things on a clamshell and run over to where Wes was shooting on another stage. I didn't really know him. I'd wait, and the AD would shout at me, and then I would go in and show him the thing. So I think afterwards he sort of thought, okay, well, this guy Jeremy's been doing all this stuff like without us. How's he even doing that? Well, we're making this movie on a boat, and he's like getting all these things. So I think he sort of saw in me some ability to like get things done, which is one side of producing, I guess.